Well, it's Sunday morning. Going out to the shop to fix some coffee and my breakfast. Thought I'd take you along for a quick view of what kind of mess I created yesterday. Let's go. Right there is my big arbor press I've been trying to get cleaned up so I can paint it. I got to figure out how to get that big monster off of there without crushing myself. Here's a bunch of parts I got burnt. Need to get them cleaned up and marked and priced and marked with my maker's mark. There's my leg vise I've been using. I finally got this big French vise mounted. I still got to weld the foot down there, so bring my welder out here. But I've kind of created a mess out here, moving stuff around. Try to slow down here. Because yesterday I bought a new compressor. There's the parts that I've taken off of that press. Let's get in the shop. This is a disaster area because I was moving stuff around. There's another arbor press and a couple more of them down there. My old compressor that quit working. Here's my new big Quincy 5 horsepower, 80 gallon. There's the details on it. And in the meantime, I'm using this little compressor. Finally, we'll have enough air to run my sandblasters. Here's where I got to wire in the electricity, 220 volt. And down there's where the air comes out, which I'll be working on that today. But I had to order a regulator. It's supposed to be here Friday, but generally I get things a little earlier than that. What a mess. There's all the stuff for the compressor. Somehow I got to get into the top of this box. I covered it up with this cabinet up here. So got to get some coffee made. Be back in a little while. Got some fried potatoes going here. They're starting to look pretty good. Time to put some eggs in. I don't know if you guys use these things, but I like these little silicone things. I always get jumbos. Generally, I'll get a couple double yolks out of a dozen. There it is. That's the first one out of this dozen. It's a double yolk. Down to the last 3 eggs and hadn't gotten one yet. Double yolker. I make up my own concoction here of different spices and, well, not really spices, I guess. Salts and stuff for my eggs and my potatoes. to have a glass of V8 with some Tabasco in it. And my coffee. Got some toast here. Ready to go down. Get my fine china out. See if I can get this on film here. You gotta commit. If you're gonna flip it that way, you gotta go for it. Get back with you later after I'm done eating. Well, I've decided to get things done in an order of what I can finish the quickest. Drug the welder out here. We're going to get this donut welded down. I ought to get a welding helmet. That would probably be a nice... let's take a look at the tip here. Oh, that's getting awful plugged up. Occasionally you need to clean out that tip because it gets plugged up with splatter there, and then it will block the gas and you'll get a lot of porosity in your weld. And that was about to happen. Sporting my new welding gloves. Okay, next, we're going to try to get this stuff taken care of. Okay, you need to kind of pay attention to my videos. I'm going to be giving away one each of those two swage blocks. That's all I'm going to say in this video. I don't know if the videos already came out or if it will be out after this one. They're both going to be in the editing process at the same time. Let me get the rest of that stuff cleaned up. Okay, I don't know if you can hear it, and his sound keeps cutting in and out this week. But right there is Big Dog Forge. I'm listening to his program while I'm cleaning this stuff up. I mentioned that on his program. So if you're making comments to me, sorry, I'm cleaning parts. Some of my nice tool holders that I bend here on this, where I got that cut in there, and then I weld that cut shut. But they aren't too bad on the back. Makes it a little difficult to hear the program though. Okay. Got all of them bent. Got a big stack of them here on the welding table. Now I've got to weld this little slot shut on both ends. I think that just... Excuse me. I think that just, the slot makes it easier for me to bend it, and then by welding it back shut, it's going to make it solid again. I've got a big stack of them here. I'll zoom in on them. Those all have the hammer holes, your hammer handles, and the tong holes for tongs. Doesn't hold a lot, but it, as I was telling the people down there at Quad State, sorry about that. When I flipped that screen around, it said something about my card, and I wanted to check, make sure I did remember to put my card in there. Hopefully it's recording to my card. I was listening to you guys down there at Quad State, so I've added a few new items to my repertoire of things I'm selling. What I'm going to do for this is I'm going to make some square holes. Wish I could get it on screen. Square holes. And I'll make them 1 1/8 all the way across, 1 3/8 all the way across, so that you have a place to store your Hardy tools for your anvil, and you can mount this behind your anvil and have a place to hang tongs and put your Hardy tools. But what I was telling people was to mount this on your anvil, and I've seen so many videos on YouTube where guys are hammering away on their anvil, set their hammer down on their anvil, go to the forge to heat up the steel, come back and pick their hammer up off the floor. They always fall on the floor. So this is a place to put your hammer when you go to the forge, and you won't have to pick it up off the floor. Let me get this welder all fired up, and we'll weld one of those shut for you. That's what they look like when they're done. Now what I do is I take them over, get them ready to be stored away, and put my maker's mark on them.